So we're outside the treasure island right in front of the pirate ship, and I'm gonna do a long exposure of 5 seconds for this one because I want to get that water to turn silky smooth, and you'll see what I'm talking about right now. That's dope. What's up, everyone? My name is Rodrigo, aka Boogie702, and today I wanted to do a little anniversary video for the Nikon D5500. You know, this camera was released in January of 2015, so a little bit over 8 years now. And to say this camera has changed my life would be an understatement. I've never been passionate about anything until I found photography, you know, and once I took my first long exposure photo with this camera, it was a wrap. You know, I was all in 100%, and I've honestly put this camera through hell. You know, I've dropped it on numerous occasions. I've cracked the screen. On another occasion, I dropped it. The battery cap came off. This camera has been completely soaked in the rain, which I don't recommend you do because it's not weather sealed. But even through all that, you know, this camera is still an absolute beast. You know, I honestly love it. I bought it used on OfferUp for $425. And, you know, I honestly can't recommend this camera enough. And this was actually Nikon's first DSLR to have a built-in touchscreen, which was a big deal back then. I'm gonna see if I could get a reflection shot of the Excalibur. And I got some leftover puddles from the rain using the 10 to 20 mil. I also brought the 20 mil 1.8. That looks really cool. Alright, and this camera has 24 megapixels, which, let's be honest, it's more than enough. Unless you're going to be doing huge prints, you don't need more than 24 megapixels. Alright, so there's a nice cloud over the New York. I'm going to see if I could get a really cool reflection with this leftover puddle right here. Try to catch some of that sky as well. Open up to 10 mil. We're at 2/50th of a second, f4.5, which is the widest this can go. You know, it's a 4.5 to f5.6 lens, but you know, it gets the job done. All right, not bad. Got a little bit of that cloud. I want to get a lookup shot of all these towers right here at City Center. So I'm gonna open up to 10 mil. I'm gonna get a reflection of this brew dog they just opened a little while ago. I'm gonna do this one at probably 14 mil. Yeah, 14 mil should be good. Alright, let me get some light trails. Alright, you know, and one of the most impressive things about this camera is that it can shoot 14-bit raw images. Now, why is that important? Because you don't get 14-bit raw images on entry-level Sonys or entry-level Canons. You know, you get those up in the higher-end cameras. You know, 14-bit raw images hold a lot of information, and they're just easier to edit. Get this shot right here of the Polo Towers. And with 14-bit raw images, I'm able to take an image that looks like this to this. And that's why it's so important to have those type of raw files. All right, let's get some texture shots. I got the 20 mil 1.8. I'm actually shooting at 2.8 right now. Nice. These are my favorite types of shots. You know, it's something that's so simple, but looks so interesting when you change your perspective and, you know, just photograph it at a low angle. Like, that's what I love about street photography. Just making boring things look interesting. All right, we got some nice little raindrops left over from the rain. I'm gonna, you know, try to use those in this composition right here. And, you know, one of my gripes with photographers nowadays is that everybody's so obsessed with features. You know, this camera has 39 autofocus points, which is unimpressive in today's world because most cameras now have 100 or more. But, you know, I've never really cared about that because honestly, you as a photographer should have the ability to focus on an object, you know, using a single point of autofocus. If you can't do that, if you can't focus and recompose, then I'm sorry, but you need to go back to school, because those are basic fundamentals of photography that everybody should know. And that's why I don't care about features. You know, you give me one autofocus point and I'll make it work. And this is what I'm talking about, like finding little things like this and just making them look interesting. And I'm shooting this one at 1.8. Let me try to get it from this angle. Man, I love shots like that. Now this is a beast of a lens, 20mm 1.8 G. You know, as I'm walking around, I'm always looking for any type of texture. And right here I found, you know, some more raindrops. I don't know if you guys can see them, but I'm gonna use these in this next composition right here. I mean, look at that. Look at that bokeh. We're at 1.8, 25th of a second, ISO 100. See how it looks. Yeah, that's that bokeh I'm talking about. All right, so I want to end the video by saying this. My best advice to anybody that's looking to get into photography is buy the cheapest camera that meets your needs and invest your money in lenses, because that's what's going to give you quality and different looks. Don't get caught up in all this hype about new cameras, you know, because cameras are like cell phones now. You know, every year there's a new one. That doesn't mean you need to get it. Instead, focus your time on learning everything you can about the camera you already own. And you're going to do that by going out and shooting as much as possible, trying different compositions, messing around with different settings, you know, because I get asked a lot, like, how am I able to take handheld long exposure photos? And I tell them, you know, I learned it by going out and experimenting with different shutter speeds until I found out that I could get a handheld long exposure photo at, you know, 1/6, 1/5 of a second. But man, you just got to go out and shoot and have fun. Because, you know, I'm always going to say this. The beauty of street photography is there's no consequences for messing up. If you have an idea, try it out. If it doesn't work out, scrap it, move on to the next one. And that's all there is to it. So I really appreciate you guys watching. You know, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, you know, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace out.